Now the message. What is the greatest enemy of the seeker? What would you say is the greatest enemy of the seeker? Ignorance. Ignorance. We play with the DNA without understanding it. We make several mistakes. Chemo is crude technology that we are still using today. All these pharmaceuticals, they might be helpful in certain cases, but we have to watch them. They come from primitive technology. Energy that we call electricity can be totally free because there's energy everywhere. People who have built machines to convert energy, they have hunted them and ensured that these things don't get to everybody. So we live in a world that's driven by ignorance, driven by ego and greed and lust for power, all because of ignorance. We fight with each other because of ignorance. We pile up nuclear weapons because of ignorance. We create separation among nations because of ignorance. You see the refugee situation across the world. People needing food, they need shelter, they need help. We put a big wall to them. We don't try to understand them. The richer countries should be helping the poorer ones. Ignorance, only ignorance. And to the seeker, ego operating in ignorance is the greatest challenge. When ego thinks it knows, when the ego gets caught in greed and lust for power, driven by ignorance, we have the world as it is. Fighting to survive. And survival of the fittest, animal thinking, beastly thinking. We are human beings with divine potential for waking up. And only few of us are manifesting that higher consciousness. The collective is hugely ignorant. That's why those of us who are aspiring to come out of this ignorance and wake up to truth, we need to stay together. We need to work together. We need to protect each other. Now you can truly understand the Sahanava prayer. May we be protected together. May we be nourished together. May we be strong together. May we be wise together. May we stay together in the divine. I chant that with joy continuously, with every group. Ignorance. And so, the way out of ignorance should be the joy of waking up, the joy of learning, the joy of discipline, the joy of growing in consciousness. For me, growing in consciousness, learning, and being humble in the learning process, should be the goal of the seeker. Not a labor of discipline. The joy of learning. We create university and people struggle. Even the preschool today, even the primary schools, you see how labor these kids are. We all brainwash them into one kind of thinking. Is that true education? Where's the joy in learning? Where's the fun in learning? The schoolroom has turned us into, wow, into being more ignorant of what we truly are. And the school puts us in a timeline for learning. So what about those of us who can learn very quickly? And what about those of us who learn in different ways? And what about those of us who have different passion, different temperament, different ways? We are all unique in a certain way. Although we are all humans, although we all have a same mind, but the way that we have lived made us unique with personalities, with mental and spiritual unfolding. Our bodies are programmed differently. The same food can have a different effect on so many people. The same exercise can have a different effect. So it's extremely important to really know who you are. And there should be a joy in the knowing, not a labor in the knowing. There should be a joy in the knowing. There should be a joy of wanting to know what is happening along the spine energetically. How do I wake up to more consciousness? How can I feel my subtle self? There should be a joy in the learning. There should be a joy in your every moment of learning. Going to bed and falling into sleep should be a learning process. Understanding how we dream should be a learning process. Understanding how we wake up and how we reorganize the energies in the body should be a learning process. Observing how we eat and how food is digested and metabolized should be a learning process. Observing how the blood flows in the body should be a learning process. Observe how our senses work should be a learning process. Observing how the energy plays throughout every level in the body should be a learning process. That's how we come out of ignorance slowly. And don't say that I can't learn, that this is too difficult. Knock, and it shall be opened unto you. Seek, and you shall find. If you're really looking, the universe supports. It brings all the information to you. It brings all the practices to you. It brings all the teachers to you. Have you seen? Just earnestly seek, and a whole universe complies. Don't seek enthusiastically, and nothing will happen. Seek, and you shall find. Knock, and it shall be opened unto you. Learn. Understand who you are at every level. Understand what the soul is. Understand what prana and chi are. And let there be a passion for learning, that in every moment you're learning something. In every moment you're practicing something. Joyfully, lovingly, passionately. That's how life should be. A completely joyous experience. When the body is ill, what can I learn from this? How can I bring it back? How can I use my mind in the process? How can I use my emotion in the process? How can I use my intention in the process? How can I observe the body and be with it in a friendly and understanding way? When you're mentally wrestling with something, how can I learn more? How can I engage with the universe in this learning process? How can I get the information? And when you remain a little quiet with this intention, you see how information flows marvelously towards you. Be wise. The whole universe will support your learning. You know, we say it takes a village to educate a child. For the seeker, the whole universe is education. It takes a universe to wake up a seeker, to educate a seeker. Learn from everything. Wake up from the ignorance. As a Thomas Sadgamaya. Take away from me the asat, the ignorance. Lead me to the truth. Asatoma Sadgamaya. Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya. Take away the ignorance in me. Tamasoma. Illumine my being with light, the light of knowledge. Jyotirgamaya. And take away this primitive consciousness of mortality. Mrityorma. Take away this whole feeling of death from me. And grant me the consciousness of immortality. The experience of my essence. Amritam Gamaya. What a beautiful mantra. So with this, I wish you a happy Thursday, everyone. Have fun in the learning. Be impatient with ignorance. And discover the joy of learning, the joy of being, the joy of uncovering the layers of ignorance within you. It's Guruvar, it's the day of the Guru. Guru. May the light overcome the darkness. Have a blessed day, everyone. Namaskar.